understand. That's all right.
Cal, the sports store here with the legendary Bob Arum. Tell me, man, Michaela looked great. Going after, going to become unified. You're going to also Ring Magazine, which is, something rarely done nowadays in boxing. Tell us about her fight coming up.
Well, it's going to be a good fight. The French lady is very, very tough. She has a great record. But Michaela, I think, is ready for anybody, and we'll see tomorrow night.
With her headlining shows now on ESPN, do you feel maybe should have gotten into the women boxing game earlier, or is this maybe right on time?
No, I don't know about me getting into it. I just think it's time, in this world that women's sports get a push, and that's why I'm advocating 3-minute rounds, because the rules should be the same for women as they are for men.
I completely agree. I mean, UFC does it right, and we see they're
exactly
very successful
right.
with the girls.
Yeah.
We have a big fight also the day after, Canelo versus Plant. Obviously, a lot of people see Canelo being the favorite. What would you see Plant have the strategy would he have to employ to go in there?
Plant is an excellent fighter, but nobody in that weight class can realistically challenge Canelo. Canelo is a super force in that division, and Plant will give him a good fight, but there's only one winner, and that's Canelo Alvarez.
Who do you see as the biggest threat in and around his division?
I don't see anybody. Maybe Benavidez is a pretty good fighter, but he's been off and so forth. I mean, Canelo is exceptional, really exceptional, and I think heads and shoulders above anybody else in that weight division.
Shakur just is coming off a tremendous performance against Stevenson, called out Valdez right away. I know Valdez did an interview. I think he said he's willing to fight, but are you looking to put that together next, or you want to build that up a little bit?
No, not a question of next. A question of, I have the featherweight champion in Navarrete, who just had a great victory, and the super featherweight champion, 130 pounds, in Valdez. And I think that the first fight for them, before we talk about a Shakur fight, is Navarrete against Valdez. And then we'll look for a Shakur fight down the road, and we're looking for a good opponent for Shakur for his next fight. And maybe we'll see. Lomachenko is fighting in Madison Square Garden on December 11th. If Loma is successful, the world will go crazy for a Loma-Shakur fight.
So would you have Navarrete come up to 130 for Valdez, or meet at a catch weight, or how would that work?
I'll sit with the managers and we'll work it out. I don't think Navarrete has any problem going up to 130.
You also have a huge one closing out the year, I think, for you guys with Crawford and Porter. Crawford's finally, the streets are crossing. I know Crawford was like there was no street before Terence Crawford. How do you see Terence doing with the strength factor that Porter brings and the physicality?
Porter is competitive, and sometimes more than competitive, with anybody he faces in the 147-pound division. He is a tough hombre. He gives his opponent no room to breathe. It's going to be a tough fight for Terence. That being said, I like Terence in the fight because I think Terence is a special kind of talent. But it's possible that reasonable to say that Porter may be too rough and tough for him and might win the fight. So, that's why the fight has gotten so much attention, is because it's such a competitive fight.
And last question, Tyson Fury enjoying his victory, the fruits of his labor, as he should. But the next guy's always looming. Dillian White was supposed to fight Wallen, had the injury. Now it seems like he's going to kind of try to force the mandatory with Tyson. Is that going to be Tyson's homecoming?
Well, no, we don't know. We don't know. I mean, obviously the fight that people want to see would be Fury and Usyk, the two champions, to finally get one champion. But that's up to Joshua because he has a rematch clause with Usyk. So let's see how it all plays out.
Bob, thank you so much for your time. Legend.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.